It's Friday afternoon, June 23rd. We're at the one of two South Plattsburgh Fire Department locations, this one here on Route 22 near Nice-Egg. And we have two people who are going to tell us everything we need to know. We'll start with this young lady. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name's Rochelle Gregory. I'm Clinton County Director of Community Services.
And
And I'm Dr. Don Kamen. I'm the Director of the Institute for Police, Mental Health, and Community Collaboration.
I hope there's no initials for that,
No.
because it'd be tough. So is that a new entity? That's I imagine that's fairly recent.
The Institute was formed in the late 2014 at the request of the New York State Office of Mental Health. We're the lead consultants for the statewide Crisis Intervention Team, or CIT, program.
Okay. All right. So Rochelle, why are we here?
We are here because Clinton County has been working with our response for the behavioral health population in our community with law enforcement and our agencies that treat and support the behavioral health individuals in our community. So we're hoping with collaboration and partnership we can strengthen that response and get people the help and services that they need.
Okay. So by behavioral health, I assume we're not necessarily meaning somebody who is a criminal, but somebody who's having some kind of an episode.
Yes, people who are having either those individuals who have mental illness, substance use challenges, or those that may not have actually a diagnosis but are just going through a particularly stressful time in their life due to a variety of circumstances would fit under that general description of emotional distress.
Okay. And I saw a lot of different uniforms here when I came in. Do you know off the top of your head who's being trained today?
I believe I
Department-wise?
do, and Don will help me if I forget. So we have Plattsburgh City Police Department, we have the Sheriff's Department, Clinton County Sheriff's Department, we have University Police with SUNY Plattsburgh, we have Saranac Lake, and we have...
One officer from Malone Police Department.
Okay. So this is a 1-2-day event, one day event, I assume?
This is a 5-day training, really focusing on recognizing and responding to mental illness and related disorders for law enforcement.
Yeah, you don't have to read too many recent news headlines to know that this is an important aspect of what's going on in the world right now.
Absolutely, and Clinton County has been working on this for several years. It started with a kickoff training, and we had a great response from our local providers, including Behavioral Health Services North, NAMI, City PD, State Police, and University Police, and the Sheriff's Department. So 100% commitment by our community to work on this initiative and strengthen our responses.
Okay, now we're going to have I've been told, brief graduation ceremony. Is there some question I should be asking you that people out there should know about?
No, I just want to reiterate something that Rochelle alluded to earlier. Well, the training this week is really important. Really, the first goal of the CIT programs is to transform the crisis response system to minimize the times that law enforcement are the first responders to individuals in emotional distress. In other words, if somebody is having a hard time, we want to have a mental health, if they're having a mental health crisis, we want them to have a mental health response. And that's sort of what Rochelle was talking about in terms of the system work that's being done and the collaboration.
Okay. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
All righty.
All right, well, thanks so much, everybody, for coming. I always like to end on Friday afternoon repeating something that I said Monday morning, which is just to remind everybody here, and for those that are new to this, what the purpose of this CIT, Crisis Intervention Team program is. The first goal is to transform crisis response system to minimize the times that law enforcement are the first responders to those in emotional distress. In other words, if it's a mental health related crisis, we ought to have a mental health response. And that's really a lot of what we talked about this morning, the crisis system mapping that we did and all the collaboration that Rochelle and others have been working on. So that's the first goal. And then the second goal is to ensure that when law enforcement officers are the first responders to those in emotional stress, that you have the knowledge, the skills, and the support to de-escalate the situation and divert individuals from the criminal and juvenile justice system when that's appropriate and possible. And that's really what we did this week, which is a lot of that focus on recognizing and responding to mental illness. So I want to thank in particular Rochelle Gregory, Director of Community Services here in Clinton County, Chris Arnold, and all of the chiefs and administrators of all the departments, Plattsburgh PD, the Sheriff's Department, SUNY Plattsburgh, Saranac Lake PD, Malone. Did I forget anybody? I hope I didn't. Boy, that would be embarrassing. No, I think I got everybody. So, so I really want to thank everybody, and certainly I always want to recognize the State Office of Mental Health, who this program is under, and the funding that they give, and in the past, the state legislature has funded this, and we hope that funding continues. And the biggest thank you, of course, is to all of you for your genuine investment and engagement and attention this week. This was just a phenomenal class. You all wanted to be here. That's really the model. That's not what we always get in all other places where we are. But it was really obvious this week that everybody volunteered to be here. And so the level of discourse and engagement was just tremendous. So I really thank you for that. And this really isn't the end. This is sort of a graduation. But this really is, I wouldn't say it's the beginning either. It's a continuation of the work that needs to be done. It really is an ongoing work. So with that, I'll hand it over to Rochelle to say a few words.
Great. I want to thank you all for your commitment, and Don's saying nothing that we don't already know. So our region is collaborative. We have great relationships, and we work together often, and I think that what Don's seeing is exactly what we know our strengths are. I want to thank everyone for being here for an entire week. I know many of you are short-staffed, and your commitment to volunteer here. We're continuing to work on it. I hope you have the resources and at least have my phone number if you run into any issues, you need any support. We genuinely are here because we care about our community just like each of you, and I know together that we can strengthen our system and have a better response. So this is the positive things that aren't always out there in the community with law enforcement, but I have nothing but good things to say about our law enforcement partners. Jared has been with this from the beginning with me. I know Kyle went to the kickoff with us, and unfortunately state police aren't here, but they were there, and University Police with Pat Rasco. Been in this with me since the beginning, and I know they're committed to improve our service system here. I also would like to thank our legislators. So we have Rob Timmons, we have Dave Pizzaio, we have Wendell Hughes, and we have Calvin Castine. I want to thank them for their support for our community and for this in particular. We have Major Nick Leon here, we have Steve Doobie, and we have Chief Pat Rasco. And also, if you don't know, Chris Arnold, who's my right-hand man when it comes to law enforcement responding to the community. I couldn't do it without all of you, so thank you very much.
Major or Chief, do you want to say anything? No?
Yeah, I'll just say it very, very quickly. I think this is great. I think this is how law enforcement progresses. I think that in the North Country, we've kind of been playing by this model already. But to have something formalized and have training and having monetary support to make this happen, for those collaborations to be kind of forced, I think it's great. I think that our community is going to benefit from it.
That's good. Major, do you want to?
I've been sick for a week, and I've used up all my words out front taking pictures, so I think I'll pass this time.
Okay. Anybody else want to say anything? Okay. All right. So we're going to hand out certificates and the CIT pins, which are for your uniforms if you're able and others approve that. I know that sometimes is an issue. So we'll do Plattsburgh PD first. Ryan Tripp. Robert Colboys. Randall Brown. And Emily. Great. Connor. Noah. And last but not least, Lieutenant Jared Tremblay. Yes.
Nice job, sir.
So we'll keep going that way. We'll do Saranac Lake PD. Rhiannon Brown. Sergeant. Congrats, Sergeant. And Sergeant Luke Crump.
Thank you, Doctor.
And from Malone Police Department, Ashley Gould. You're going to be part of the evening. You coming over for the church meeting? Okay, good.
You want me to do karate chop or?
Okay, from the Clinton County Sheriff's Office, Tyler Conley. Sir. And Sergeant Christopher Holland. We're going to have somebody from SUNY come on over.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. From SUNY Plattsburgh Police Department, Cameron Garceau. Well, this is paparazzi, I guess. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Conrad Barnway. Yes, sir. Eric Flunz. There you go.
Start walking along.
Yes, sir. Lauren Doobie.
Congratulations. There you go.
Last but certainly not least is Lieutenant Joshua Coons. Steps. Okay. Congratulations.
Here you go.
Okay, so. There's only one last requirement before you can go home, which is we need a group picture, so if everybody can sort of do that line up in here.
Stand please.
And as they're gathering for the group photo, we'll bid adieu here. Nice ceremony, and making sure that folks with mental health episodes are properly addressed is a very important part of policing these days, and we applaud this effort.